Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In my previous videos, I shared my story with you. I talked about the changes I've been through in life and how I am trying to start over again at the age of 50. Many of you left comments and asked me, Xiaoling, where are you living now? What is your home like? Are you happy living alone? So, today, I want to open my door and invite you into the place where I am currently staying in Wuhan, China. This is not actually my own home. After losing my previous place to live, a friend kindly offered me a place to stay for a while. I am very grateful to have a safe place where I can rest and rebuild my life. This is not a luxury home. It is not a big apartment. But this is where I wake up every morning. This is where I spend my days and where I am slowly putting my life back together. Welcome to my home. This is the neighborhood where I live now. Let me start by showing you the outside of my community. At the bottom of these buildings, there used to be many small shops, but today, most of them are closed. The reason is simple. The occupancy rate in this community is very low, less than 10%. With so few residents living here, there are not enough customers to support local businesses. Some shops used to open here and serve the neighborhood, but over time, as fewer people lived here, the businesses lost their customers and eventually had to close. When you walk around, you can see many empty storefronts. These quiet streets tell a story. This is not just about closed shops. It reflects how changes in a community can affect the daily lives of ordinary people. This is a part of real life in China that many visitors may never see. This is the main entrance of the community where I live, and across from the entrance, you can see endless fields and farmland. This is a scene that can be found in many developing areas in China. Over the past few decades, China experienced a period of rapid real estate development. Large amounts of capital entered the housing market. Developers purchased land, built new residential communities, and created a booming real estate industry. During that time, many ordinary people also entered the housing market. Some borrowed money and took on large mortgages, believing that property would continue to increase in value. But when the pandemic arrived, it suddenly pressed the pause button on many things. The situation began to change. As the economy slowed down, the real estate market faced new challenges. Some homes lost value, and in some cases, the value of the property became lower than the remaining mortgage. Families that once had comfortable lives started facing financial pressure. Some people wanted to sell their homes but couldn't find buyers. Others wanted to rent them out but couldn't find tenants. This is one of the reasons why some newly built communities now have very low occupancy rates, with many apartments left empty. Behind these empty buildings are not just numbers. There are stories of ordinary people, their hopes, their choices, and the changes they experienced. This is the inside of my community. Although the neighborhood is not as busy as it used to be, there are still many facilities here for residents. There are outdoor fitness equipment areas, sports spaces, and places where people can exercise and relax. On the first floor of the buildings, you can also find small shops, delivery pickup areas, and even a room where residents gather to play mahjong. These small places are an important part of daily life in many Chinese communities. Something interesting is that some residents who live on the first floor have started growing their own vegetables in the open spaces around the buildings. They plant vegetables, take care of them, and enjoy the simple process of growing their own food. It is a very common scene in some Chinese residential areas. Even in a modern community, you can still see a connection between people, nature, and everyday life. This is the real life of an ordinary neighborhood in China. This is the home where I am currently staying. For a long time, I hesitated to film here because this is not actually my own home. All the furniture and appliances belong to my friend. I am only staying here temporarily. I help take care of the apartment, keep it clean, and look after everything while they are away. Some people may wonder, why would your friend let you live here for free? There is a story behind it. My friends are a newly married couple. Because of the pressure from their mortgage and the difficult economic situation, they decided to go to Japan to work. Actually, I was planning to go with them, but at that time, applying for a Japanese visa as a Chinese citizen required proof of savings of around 200,000 RMB. I didn't have that amount of money, and I couldn't borrow it from anyone. My friends were only able to provide the required financial proof because they borrowed money from both families and also used credit loans. When they were preparing to leave, I asked them, "Could I rent your apartment? I can pay you some rent every month, even if it's not much." They knew my situation. They knew that I had lost my place to live and that I was going through a difficult period. So they kindly offered me the apartment temporarily without charging rent. I am truly grateful for their kindness, but I still contribute something toward the housing costs because I believe something important. No one lets you live somewhere forever for free, even if they are your friends. True friendship is not only about receiving help, it is also about respecting the kindness others give you. This is the living room. I spend a lot of my time here. Sometimes I sit here and drink tea. Sometimes I edit my videos and work on my channel. When I have nothing else to do, I watch TV. And sometimes I just sit here quietly and think. This is a simple space, but it is where many moments of my daily life happen. This is the second bedroom. No one has ever lived in this room. It has been empty since the apartment was finished. The furniture and everything inside are still in their original condition. Since my friends moved away, this room has remained unused. I usually keep it clean and open the windows regularly to keep the room fresh. Although it is an empty room, it is also a reminder that this apartment is not really mine. I am only taking care of this place temporarily while my friends are away. This is a tea room. Most of the furniture and items have already been removed, so the room is currently empty. I don't use this space very often, but sometimes I come here to edit my videos. It is a quiet place where I can focus on my work and spend some time alone. This is the children's room. My friends don't have children yet, so this room is currently being used to store some extra belongings. In China, it is quite common for newly married couples to prepare a room for their future children when they move into a new home. Even before having kids, many couples like to create a space that represents their hopes and plans for the future. For now, this room is simply waiting for its next chapter. This is the master bedroom. When my friends moved away, they took all of their personal belongings with them. Everything you see in this room now was purchased by me. I bought these items myself and arranged this space to make it more comfortable for my daily life. At the moment, this is the bedroom where I sleep and live by myself. Although this is not my own home, I still want to create a small, peaceful space where I can feel comfortable and continue rebuilding my life. This apartment has a 4-bedroom, 2 living room, and 2 bathroom layout. The total size is about 125 square meters, which is approximately 1,345 square feet. My friend told me that they originally bought this apartment for 1.5 million RMB. But today, the market value has dropped to less than 700,000 RMB. That means the property has lost more than half of its value. And even at this price, finding a buyer is still very difficult. The reason is that there are many empty apartments on the market, but not enough people are willing or able to buy. At the same time, homeowners still have to continue paying their mortgage loans. Let's do a simple calculation. When they bought this apartment for 1.5 million RMB, they paid a 30% down payment, which was about 450,000 RMB. The remaining 1.05 million RMB was borrowed from the bank as a mortgage. But now, if the apartment is worth less than 700,000 RMB, selling it would not even cover the remaining loan. They could still owe the bank around 350,000 RMB after selling the home. For many families, this is an extremely difficult situation. In China, there is no personal bankruptcy system like in some other countries. Even if you give up the house, the debt does not simply disappear. You are still responsible for repaying the remaining loan until it is fully paid off, and your credit record may not recover until then. This is why many people feel trapped. My friends had very few choices. They decided to go to Japan to work because, with the current average income in Wuhan, many ordinary workers earn around 4,000 RMB per month. For a couple, that would be about 8,000 RMB combined income each month. After paying the mortgage, there may be very little money left for everyday living expenses. This is the reality many ordinary families are facing today. Behind every empty apartment, there is a story of people's hopes, choices, and the pressure of life. I am standing on the rooftop right now. From here, you can see the entire area. There are apartment buildings everywhere, one after another, stretching into the distance. This neighborhood was originally designed to accommodate hundreds of thousands of residents. But today, the occupancy rate is less than 10%. Although there are thousands of apartments here, only a small number of people actually live in this huge community. The area that was once expected to become a busy city neighborhood now feels unusually quiet. Looking down from here, you can see rows and rows of buildings, but many windows remain dark. Behind these empty apartments are many different stories, people's dreams, investments, and the changes they have experienced in recent years. I didn't go out to buy groceries today, so I decided to make instant noodles instead. When you live alone, sometimes you don't even know what you want to eat. Especially during the hot summer months, I often don't have much of an appetite. Sometimes, a simple bowl of noodles is all I need. Since I started living alone, I sometimes make instant noodles for myself. I rarely ate them before, but when you live by yourself, there are times when you just want something simple and convenient. Sometimes, after a long day, a quick bowl of noodles is enough. If you have any good ideas for making instant noodles more delicious, please leave a comment. I would love to learn some new recipes from you. because of the hot weather, I decided to eat outside on the tea table on my balcony, right next to the window. But honestly, it still doesn't feel like there is much air coming in. Let me share a little funny story. When I was living in the countryside, especially during the summer, my family often used to bring our dinner outside and sit near the entrance of the house to eat. I'm not even sure where this habit came from. We saw the older generation doing it, so we naturally followed them. Sometimes several people would sit together outside, eating dinner, chatting, and enjoying the evening. It was such a simple moment, but those memories are still very special to me. Maybe this is one of the small things that makes rural life in China unique. There are 2 tea tables in this apartment, but interestingly, I actually don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee either. The reason is that both tea and coffee make it difficult for me to sleep. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. My sleep has already become lighter compared to when I was younger. If I drink tea or coffee, even during the day, I often find myself unable to fall asleep at night. So, these tea tables are more like decorations or quiet spaces in the home. Sometimes I sit here, enjoy the peaceful atmosphere, and think about life. It is around 8 p.m. now, and it is already completely dark outside. Looking out from the window, you can see that fewer than 10% of the apartments have their lights on. This gives you an idea of how few people are actually living in this area. A community like this was originally built to accommodate a large number of residents, but today, the occupancy rate appears to be only around 10%. In China, places like this are sometimes called ghost cities. From the outside, you can see countless apartment buildings and modern streets, but at night, many windows remain dark. It creates a strange feeling, a huge neighborhood that was built for thousands of families, but feels almost empty after sunset. Behind these empty buildings are many stories about development, investment, and the changes that have happened in people's lives. I'm going to watch some TV for a little while, then take a shower and get ready for bed. That's the end of my day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my simple daily life in China. Thank you for your support and for being part of my journey. I'll see you in the next video. Good night, and take care.